Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. We are live with another live match reaction. And let me do, before I get on my shenanigans talking to the mic, let me throw the link out there so people can join us, have their opinion, as we usually do in this channel. We give the fans their opinion, whatever it is. You can be a happy clapper, a bedwetter, a twat wetter, if that's a word, whatever. You have your opinion. It is what, as long as you keep it respectful, no racism and no, uh, homophobism, none of the isms that are bad. As long as it's football related, Newcastle related, your opinion, whether we agree or disagree, we welcome you here. So come on and have your say right now. Boom. The link is out there. So you can join us and have your opinion, as I said already. So, Newcastle United beating Bromley. That's something that was expected. It was a bit difficult in the beginning. It was a bit, you know, it's kind of, how can I put it? Playing against Bromley is certainly, everybody thought we were going to win. We did it. We got the job done. But the beginning made a lot of people uncomfortable. It made a lot of people uncomfortable. Just the way they scored. And then the following play, it just looked way too dangerous, man. Way too dangerous. And it looked like Newcastle United weren't. I don't know what was happening. We were asleep. The mighty win was the whole time after his fifth pint. He was asleep in the stands, and nothing was happening. And then Miley, an unbelievable play, by the way. Nice little pass to Osula. He couldn't control it. The ball gets back around to Miley, and he just smacks it into the goal and it was an unbelievable game by Miley. Great job. I thought Sanusi came on later on and did a great job as well, both on the left and right. We did end up resorting to our best players to kind of bring in the experience, the quality, and kind of just get a hold of this game. We needed that. That just might tell us that we don't have a full squad as we expect. I mean, to be fair, we changed, I think, 9 players. Dubravka and Joe Linton only starting, I believe, if I'm from the usual starting 11. So any team really is going to suffer if you make that amount of changes. But still, we should beat Bromley, and we did it. Got the job done. And it is what it is. We move on to the next phase. I think Newcastle United did what they had to do. We got to keep an eye on Arsenal and Manchester United as well to see what's going to happen, and the draw comes after. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for now, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Enjoy the channel. Become a member if you can. Help us support the channel. And, of course, subscribe. Like I said, hit the bell for notifications as well. That helps us out a lot. Anyways. Mr. Gary. And we also got Benjamin from Pittsburgh. How's it going, Gary? All good? Oh, Benjamin?
Yeah, good, buddy. How are you guys?
We're doing great, man. We're doing great. A good win, a good result. It was a bit tough, but we got it done, didn't we? In the beginning, at least, it was a bit weird.
I think the thing is, like I say, we all look at the game for where they are and everything else, but again, it's the beauty of the cup games, isn't it? Sometimes it can just throw you a curveball. We wasn't certainly expecting that finish from Bromley, which he took superbly well, and I'm sure there'll be people out there that will criticise allowing the ball to drop, but that's what Bromley feed on. That's the type of play that they've been doing and creating in League Two. So again, it was exactly what I expected. Long ball up to the front men, scramble for the second ball, and you have to deal with that. You're going to have to combat that. I mean, the one thing that I liked was the fact that we, again, when everything gets a little bit tough, the lads showed a way of coming back, and it looked so one-sided at times. You looked so static up front, very little movement going on, not allowing players coming in behind. And Osula was one of the guilty parties for that. I thought Barnes looked completely off it. He didn't seem as though he wanted to be involved down that left-hand side. We all knew what Miggy's going to give us down the right-hand side. So we didn't look as though we'd got anything that we're going to get the goal back. It was a bit static. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, with one good ball through the middle from Miley, Asula goes on a run. Could have done better himself, to be fair. Didn't cover himself full of glory. But we did bring the ball back centrally. And, that goal from Miley, which just sets the rest of the game up, if you like, was an absolute wonder strike. A couple of players that highlighted for me was Target and Miley. I think they two stood out from the crowd today. Was there anything else from Bromley that could have upset us? Well, no, I don't think it was. I think once we started to get on the front foot, I think we'd seen what Bromley were going to offer. It was always going to be from set pieces. If they were going to come back and haunt us with anything, it was going to be aerially, because that's the type of football that they play and do half decent with. But I think quality shone through in the end. Target, again, was probably my runner-up as man of the match. Gets into the box, creates that little element of surprise, if you like, gets challenged, and Gordon does the rest. And I think, from the point of view of this is our second string, majority of our second string team that's been out there, got minutes in the legs. A win's a win. It doesn't matter how you do it. But to me, it was a case of not really needing to get out of second gear, and you've seen the difference in the quality from the levels that's put on the park. And even with our second string, once we started to see lads that were comfortable playing football with the ball at the feet, the opportunities then started to get more and more and more, and there was a lot more creativity in the middle of the park. So I think the lads did well without really having to do too much.
Yep. All right. We're gonna mute you for a second, Tiger, because we hear the everything in the background. So let me get to Benjamin first.
Right.
Benjamin Levi, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great, bro. We're doing great. What do you guys think about the game?
I
Great
think
game, wasn't it?
I think we played good.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy when people expect 20 goals to be scored against Bromley, but it's proven now.
Oh,
Look at all the teams. I mean, Tottenham.
I think, Chris, we learned a few things from this game.
Yeah.
We learned, number one, that Miley is now the substitute for the midfielders and not Sean Longstaff.
Well, yeah.
Right? We learned that Asulo can play the ball and he can put goals in the net. So we learned that he could come on and score goals.
Mhm.
And we also learned that Target, if we need him, can defend well. I wasn't loving his offensive play and his crossing. Now in the second half, he kind of improved that a little bit when he kind of took that foul in the box. But it's still Lewis Hall's job. I mean, who else? It kind of rubbed me the wrong way that we had to put on the likes of Gordon. We had to put on Tonali and Bruno. I thought we should have been able to get that done without those guys. But all right, I'll take the 3-1 win and never mind. So that's where I'm at.
I thought Tonali could have just stayed on the bench.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know, maybe get his heartbeat going again for a second. I don't know, but yeah, I do agree. I mean, we did have to resort to Gordon and Bruno to kind of bring the team together. But before we go to Tiger, let me get some quick start comments here so people can kind of get their say quickly. Lee McFarlane, now the treble is on for real. Woohoo! Bring on anyone in the next round. Stephen Harker, no cohesion from the cohesion. Ashley Deadwood out, says Stephen. Vendetta says, there you go. This is the Brunel. This is the American Bruin, man. The American Bruin. Job done. Osula isn't as bad as some fans say. Trippier's legs seem to have gone. Longstaff wouldn't look out of a place playing for Bromley. And Miggy is just a case. Oh, dear me. There we go. Will says,
Hey, Levi!
well, rude, man. I'm reading comments from the fans, man. Just coming in like that. Did you wake? You had a good nap? Had a good nap, man?
I've had a good day, thank you very much.
Had a good nap. I bet that kip was great, man. in the stands. Will, extremely disappointed by Longstaff. Miley started after a long injury, did better than him. Then barely any shots from Bromley, so they defended all game as expected. Job done. Most important thing. And I'll stop there for a second. Or maybe not stop there. Let me get to this comments, and then because I think we're going to take a little bit on this particular subject. Sue says, "Big up to Bromley. Their defense was good, although not great. Their clearances and blocks are no joke." Jordy Dan Lewis was excellent, and so happy Osula got his goal. James Perch, Sell Longstaff, Miley is a top talent. Sean is being paid 80K a week after to offer nothing. Adrian Pickett, let's sell Harvey, Sean, Miguel, and Odysseus, 67 mil. Maybe all combined, possibly. Vendetta, agree. Target is still very capable as a left back, reassuring if Hall gets injured. Sue, Tripper, and Longstaff had to take responsibility for the conceded goal. They chased the balls against each other, and Miley became the biggest victim. Last but not least, Will says, how badly Osula needed that goal. It'll do him some good for the future. Look, on the commentary, I on purpose try not to mention Longstaff because I was like, man, and then my question is, how badly was he exposed today? I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. I just could not understand. He was, and Almiron the same way, by the way. Almiron is guarding himself. He dribbles against himself. He just and he defends himself. You know what I mean? He's literally like alone there in an open space, and he just starts, I don't know, cutting inside, going out. You know, it's not necessary, man. But the Sean Longstaff, you know, it's kind of, to me, we say it all the time. You know, it almost feels like a personal thing. Nothing personal, but the lad is just lost, man. It's lost. I don't understand it. Mighty Wayne, welcome, man.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Gary. How you doing, son?
You're right,
Gary's
dude.
back. Yeah, Gary's back.
Good.
So you're gonna avoid the Longstaff question or what? You're gonna see
Longstaff was poor.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Say
god.
Very poor.
Said it.
Yeah.
I think we
Longstaff
said
and
this
Mickey
during.
both were.
Yeah, we said it during the game on the watch along. I think that when you get to playing against a League Two outfit and you're still struggling to do the basics, then there's something that you've got to start questioning. And as a coach, if I can't get these players motivated for an FA Cup game to actually go out there and deliver a performance on a level, on an even par, you haven't even got to go. You know, I'm not expecting them to be Tonali or even Miley. I just want you to go out there and compete and do the simple stuff simple. And I think the one thing, and again, we keep on doing it, when you put yourself in the spotlight, unfortunately, it's only going to be a matter of time before even Eddie Howe loses faith. And I think, you know, what we've started to see this season, a lot more than last. Now we've got a settled midfield. Now we've got players that are justifying our league position. These players aren't going to be involved very much. They might get the fleeting opportunity through there until obviously there's other players come in. But you know, I said it at the start. You know, our academy team now, Hearns and players like that are good midfielders. Yet there's still a bit of a gap between the two teams. But when you start looking at Longstaff there and seeing what he's offering you, I'd rather have somebody on there that's going to actually get a foot in, get some type of telling on the game, whether he has the ability or not. And it was the same with Miggy on the right hand side. As much as we love his smile and his character and everything else, what he actually gives you for part of the game is very, well, for me, it's a negative impact rather than a positive because it's always going to go backwards. He hasn't got the ability anymore to do anything with the ball or at least run into the space like he used to because it's so. We all know exactly. I mean, even you laughed halfway through there, Chris, because Miggy does what Miggy does, and that's just running the same direction all of the time. There's no variation to his game, and it's just so easy to defend against.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing on Sanusi?
Yeah. Good lad, wasn't he?
I thought he looked very green tonight.
Yeah.
He did.
I think he was trying to do too much and trying to do too much to maybe impress Eddie.
Catch the eye.
Yeah, exactly. And God bless him, but we didn't need that at that moment. At that moment, all he needed to do was play good football. And he was trying to do a little too much, and that showed how green he still is.
Yeah. Let me get to Tiger Studios. Tiger's been awful quiet. Tiger, do you hear me?
Hey guys, how's it
Hey,
going?
man,
Hi,
why
Tiger.
you quiet, man? If I don't see you
I'm waiting
there,
for
you
you
know.
to introduce me, Chris.
Oh, well, who are you, man? Stone Cold Steve Austin? You want me to introduce you, man? What's wrong with you? Come on, man. You get so what? We keep winning, and you don't. You say you don't have nothing else to say, man. No Eddie Howe out.
Well, listen.
We're winning, man. You must be suffering, man.
What you mean? I
I'm
love that we're
playing
winning.
with you. I'm playing with you, man. I'm
I
playing with
love
you.
it that we're winning. Oh, listen. First things first. I want to give praise to Bromley because they gave us a game,
They
and
did.
I think our team that we put out, they probably thought it was going to be a walk in the park, but from the first half, like their goal was like a Premier League type goal, man. Like I don't know if Bromley players could score like that.
No.
But yeah, apart from that, there's a lot of players today are not good enough for this team now going forward for next season, i.e. Miggy, Longstaff. I think Barnes is done. I think he's gone in the summer. This was his chance to like show how that like put more faith in me, and he just didn't deliver today.
Hey,
Um,
it's a wounded tiger, ladies and gentlemen, out there licking his wounds.
not
It's a wounded tiger, man, alone, all by his lonesome, just licking his
no, but
wounds.
like apart from that, like yeah, we got the job done. It's just we need some players in this month, man. Like
Well, I will give you this, man. This game clearly showed us who we got, who we don't got,
yeah,
we can trust, who we can't trust. I mean, it's the quality of some players, man. It's just I don't get it, man. I
but
just
then
do not get it.
I just like I hope the fans like now wake up and like realize that Longstaff they're not good enough anymore for this team. Like I know they might run and they try and they smile, but listen, they're not good enough to get us over the line. You know what I'm saying? We had to bring on Gordon, Bruno to change the game, and that
Yeah,
Sanusi, like he did well. I was happy with his
he
performance.
did
Yeah, like
decent. I mean, yeah, he's not ready though to be,
he's not ready, but he's
but he
done
did
more
well.
than what Barnes did.
Well, certainly. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. Um, One day, Tiger will have to admit we're great.
Great.
Great, isn't it?
Oh,
Did
lads.
you get
The growl.
Frosties?
Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Frosties.
They're great.
There you go. Man, what a good game though. I mean, as far as the result and everything else. I mean, you got to celebrate the result.
Yeah.
And I think it's more the Bromley. It's not that Newcastle can barely beat a League Two club. It's just that I mean, you're seeing against Tottenham as well, man. These guys, especially in the beginning of the match,
How
They
did
played-
Tottenham finish, by the way?
3-0. Surprisingly, they
3-0
scored all the
Tottenham,
In extra time though.
they scored all the 3 goals in
Yeah, because we had to go
at
to
the
the
end.
match when extra time was.
At the end. So but the FA Cup brings you this, man. It's different. It's different. By the way, yes, we need to do man of the match. So man of the match candidates, ladies and gents. And so think
Trippier.
about it. Hold on, man. I mean, who would be your top Trippier? You said
Trippier.
Oh,
I don't-
Miley for me.
I'll
Yeah,
say
that would be the first name mighty win.
Not for me.
Asula.
What? Not for you.
Nope.
Lewis Miley. He's not even a candidate to be a man of the match.
Yeah, he's a candidate.
Fuck me, man. Well,
The ones
Gary, who do you say?
Well, Miley, Target, and probably a Sula.
Well, you
for
get, you
his,
get to have, you get to have
Asula
one,
for
man.
the goal, eh? Yeah,
So-
who knew? Who knew?
Lewis Miley. Lewis Miley. We'll go.
It's Miley
so,
for me all day.
Okay, so he said Miley. Tiger, do you got one?
Asula.
Oh, Sola, interesting. Okay, mighty win.
Trips.
Trippier. I don't think you're gonna get many votes on that, but well, maybe the ones that blindly follow you, the two people that blindly
Maybe the
follow
ones that were in the stadium.
you. And so Trippier. Well, we need one more though. So who could it be? Who do you say, Gary? You could be
Target.
Ooh, you
Yeah,
killing me with that.
no matter what he did, he's
Oh, yeah,
he's
and
there
then
perfect on the bench.
His crossing was very poor today.
yeah, it was, man.
Yeah, and to be fair, you've got to also say, like, as
What
much
the
as we
hell?
say, what did you get from the right hand side
Hey,
regarding crossing?
No,
side
And
note.
right.
these are players. I mean, we're talking Trippier, who's our set piece specialist. And again, you get involved wherever you are in the park.
Yeah.
I have to give I have to give Target a mention because he put himself in the shop window. It's quite easily to get into those teams, like I saw a number of players do, and actually not, you may as well have not worn the shirt. For me, I look at the endeavour. I look at the players that are willing to break the lines. Yet it may not have been a perfect end product, but unless you put yourself in the shop window and put yourself into their opportunity, you're never going to gain the experience
but
to get the end product.
By the
I
way,
guess
I
So
don't think
I
he
think
had
he
a
did
bad
well.
game. He didn't have a bad game. I
No,
just thought
Definitely didn't have a bad
offensively,
game.
yeah, his execution wasn't the greatest.
yeah.
no, he wasn't.
Now, let me ask you though. None of the main players get a mention for man of the match because we did win the game when they came in. Gordon, Bruno.
Maybe
Uh,
Bruno.
I mean,
Yeah, Bruno was
you
good.
can. Bruno definitely gets
And
a shout.
Gordon was good as well. I mean,
yeah.
he was just
No, but for man of the match. So man of the match is the best players on the game, man. They're playing it
Yeah,
simple.
well, for 90 minutes.
I would say
Well,
Bruno because he changed the midfield.
Okay, so do you guys agree with Bruno? We need one more
Yeah,
spot,
yeah, I
or
don't
target.
mind.
I mean, I can put target. I don't care. It's an unbiased channel, objective, man. As much as Mighty Win want us to be all happy clappers,
I'd put
but
Target ahead of Bruno actually, just because of how long he played.
okay, well there we go. Well, let's put target in there then. Lewis, Miley, Osula, Trippier, target. So the poll is out, ladies and gentlemen. Please vote on your men of the match. And if you disagree, well, you can tell us, and you can bollock us, give us a
Yeah.
bollocking.
What do you mean?
and we
Shame
will
on
take
you.
it.
If you disagree, shame on you.
Exactly. And we're also going to put this on the community of the channel, so please vote thoroughly. Think about it the right way. Lewis Miley, Osula, Trippier, target. Trippier was nobody's options other than the Mighty Win, so you blame him for that.
Can I ask
Lewis
you,
Miley,
what did you see from Trippier that he would have said man of the match win? And I love you, you know that. But
He
what
was
did you see?
he was involved in everything. He was directing traffic. He was I don't think he missed a pass. He was just superb. And then when you're seeing set pieces, as soon as we got a corner in the second half, and when Trips didn't go to take it, I says, "Hi, someone coming off the training pitch here," and there was, and it nearly got a goal.
Okay.
nah, all right, well, okay, not buying that car yet, but you keep
Chris,
on
can I
selling them.
mention something about this Dubravka situation that's happening? Because
Interesting.
we
Yeah,
all
go on.
thought that. Because we
Did
all
you hear
thought
the
that it
crowd?
was his last game.
Yes, we heard the crowd, Mighty Win. They asked him to
No, we
stay.
thought it was
We want you
his
to
last.
stay. We want you to stay, Martin Dubravka. We want you to stay.
Okay,
The whole of the
So-
Gallagher end was at it.
Will Win. Stop
In
drinking,
my
man.
section of the East Stand.
Well, I'm
Stop.
just hoping that if we keep Dubravka, like he's the number one for the rest of the season. I don't want Pope to come in and then he drops back on the bench
I'm
because
not going to
we could
argue
have
with
just sold
that.
him off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
We could have
agree
just sold
with
him, got the 4 mil.
that. I agree with that.
So
Will
if he's
says
gonna
Win.
stay, stop.
Will says Win stop drinking. Tripper got passed many times, never crossed the ball. By the way, well, I just thought he was going to take.
You are watching.
Well, everybody else is agreeing with him, man. Win is definitely watching the
Yeah,
game
of
from
course,
3 years
yeah.
ago. Was Anderson playing too? Win. Exactly. He was pissed, man. He was pissed drunk in his seat, man. No worries.
Stone cold sober Austin. That's
But
right.
the Dubravka conversation is good though. I mean, you can make a lot of assumptions. You can say, well, this is his last game at St. James's Park. You give him the time with the fans, whatever. Or he's here to stay, so he's going to play. He's playing. You know what I mean?
What did I say on Thursday? I said
You said a lot of things.
If Dubravka start, I'll get your apology about Mickey later. If
No, what
Dubravka
apology?
starts, it means he's staying. Is what
You need to give me an apology because I said he went to Paris, he shouldn't play, and look at how he played. He played like he had a few nights, good nights in Paris tonight, man. He was rubbish. What are you
You
talking
said
about?
he wouldn't start because he was in
I didn't say he wouldn't start. I said I
Yes,
wouldn't
you
start him.
did.
I said
Yes, you
I
did.
wouldn't start him.
You said,
That's what
no
I said.
way, he's gone, man. You're
Man.
mad, mate. You win. You're stupid.
No, I didn't
all
say
this
that.
rubbish.
No, I didn't. I never called
Yeah,
you
you
stupid, by
did.
the way. I never
But
said
they were all given a couple of days off, weren't they? Even Tonali
Yeah.
was in Paris.
Yeah, but Tonali deserves it.
Joey Linton was in Paris as well.
Yeah.
But
That's what I said. They were all given a couple of days off.
If you are trying to win a spot, man, he might not be. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. I mean, it might be wrong, and
It's just, he's not
it
up to
certainly
it
didn't
anymore.
let him make him have a good game. That's for
Nope.
sure.
No. Well, that was the only thing that really surprised me when I saw all of the lads potentially out having a couple of days away with family and stuff like that. Because again, we all know that Christmas, the festive season, you don't get much time with your family to do anything. So I understand that for the first team, when you're
Right.
preparing for an FA Cup game, I am surprised that they wasn't literally holding back the second string players to get a formation, to get some form, and that did surprise me when I saw like the likes of Miggy being out there, because when you look at Saturday through to Wednesday, and then Wednesday through to Sunday, you have only got a number of days to get something going. So I was a little bit unsure of how Eddie was preparing for this game. I mean, like I said, if you're not going to put your first string out there, that's absolutely fine. But you need to give time for those second string players to actually perform. And to be fair, like I say, they never looked like they were going to get out of second gear today, majority of them. But I did feel as though there was a lot of them left their heads somewhere on a mini trip that they've been. And I go to the likes of Harvey Barnes, who looked, as though he wasn't even willing to get involved in this game. It was too low for him to be even involved in this team. That's the type of body language that I was getting from him. And like I say, sometimes you get that negative impact by allowing the lads to all go out there and have time, a couple of days break. Sometimes you can have a negative impact on the rest of the team.
Mhm.
So I'm glad we've got over this hurdle, but I
Th-
wanted to see a few more shine.
This was Miguel Almiron all game. Look,
No,
all
that was
game.
That was the Nusi all game.
No. See, you're gonna criticize the young lad that you're saying not to criticize because he's a young lad. He'll make. Come on, man. Criticize. Have the bollocks to criticize Miguel Almiron. That's what he was doing all day, just to himself in an open space, just dribbling against himself, man. Come on, man. Look, I'm tired of giving that guy chances, man. He's not working. Simple.
Yeah, me too.
By the way, the other game is still drawn. Arsenal Man U. We're waiting for the draw to come after that, and we'll see what happens. But 10-man Man U, and certainly, man, Arsenal. AFTV is going to gain another million subscribers because that's how they got their first million. From the fall down of Arsenal, and now they're going to get another million, man, because they are not performing whatsoever.
Pissed.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I said Lee's going to be pissed.
Oh, lead judges. Yeah, exactly. Let me see. More comments here. What do you guys think about Lewis Miley? I mean, we didn't talk about it really much. I mean, but just that goal was unbelievable, wasn't it?
After he's cock up for their goal, he was.
Oh my
excellent.
God, this guy, man, what cuck up for what goal?
Well,
He was to blame for their goal, and he almost gave a second goal away as well.
No, yeah.
well,
Wow,
And
man.
people call me negative, yeah? This guy
it's
is more negative
unbelievable.
than me. So
well, the first goal I noticed that Miley put his foot.
now
through.
Miley
Bear
was
in mind, you've seen loads of replays. I haven't, but everybody around me was saying, "Whoops."
Well, Miley lost the ball. Didn't he?
Whoops, yeah, that's right.
Miley
We're going-
lost the ball. Then he
Miley
tried
just
to
seems
put
like a different player from last year.
Oh,
like,
hey, he looks
you know,
quality,
like
man.
he's
Didn't
like
Miley put his foot?
yeah, he's like leveled up a little bit. Like he looks a lot stronger, bigger,
Yeah.
more faster.
Well, he is. He's 2 inches in a stone.
Yeah, man. So and he
But
just
I
looks
think
like he's ready to, like, get back into the team.
But
I wouldn't be
here's the
starting, but
problem. We've got Anderson pulling trees up at Forest because he's getting game time. He wouldn't have been getting that game time at the two, and we've got the same problem in a way with Miley.
No, we
well,
don't actually.
it just shows you. It just
but the
shows
thing is,
you. Win.
I said I never rated Anderson. I don't think he's good.
Well,
It
I
just
mean,
shows you
I
Win,
think
that
I don't
Anderson's
think he's
I think
quality.
it's good. But I think we don't have an issue with Lewis Miley. The issue with Lewis Miley is going to be the manager, if indeed becomes an issue, because you always going to need a first sub for 3 midfielders. 3. He has a chance to come in for 3 players. So for the most part, you're going to sub out somebody. If it happens to be in the midfield, Lewis Miley needs to be the first one to be
Yeah,
coming in for any
Yeah.
midfielder,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if the manager has an issue that he can't put feelings aside for Longstaff or for Willock,
I think they got
then he's going to have an issue. He's the one that's the problem.
all the buzz around Newcastle now was that Longstaff's on his bike.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank
Well,
God.
I'm glad that the Toon Army has woken up from the sleep they were on. But not really. A lot of people, understand the Longstaff is.
But the thing is, Chris, like we should try and sell Longstaff before the end of this window now, because Miley is ready to come in and be that, like you said, that first midfield
He's going to be.
substitution in every game.
Miley is first reserve. I don't think there's any
Yeah,
doubt about
like
that.
like just tell him to go now. Just thank you for your services.
Sorry,
Just go.
I think we've been interrupting Benjamin. So go on, Benji.
No.
Apologies.
All I was trying to say was to win, because I watched the replay a couple times that you didn't have the luxury to see, obviously, when you were at the game. But Miley did lose that ball a little bit, and then he tried to toe poke it away from the Gazer, and then he put on a good shot only because Lloyd Kelly didn't step up and try to block it. He was miles away from that guy. He didn't try to take him on at all. He was miles away. So that's why he got the shot off, was because, in my opinion, from Lloyd Kelly.
Hang on, we're talking about his goal here now, or
First goal. The first Bromley goal.
Yeah.
I don't blame none of that Almighty. It just
no.
I
It
don't.
was tough. It was tough.
Well, I don't know. Like I say, I haven't seen any replays yet. So
Actually, in the second opportunity they got, I blamed Lloyd Kelly. My counterpart Gary and Brent didn't agree with me because he gave the ball away. I thought Barnes was waiting on the ball. Now you can say, yeah, he should have went to the ball, but he lost. Regardless, we lost the ball, and they almost scored. Man, you know how bad that would have been if they scored that goal, the second goal. They went by really, really close. Sofa scored, giving Lewis Miley the man of the match, as well as Matt Target something. It's got a boot on it. I don't know what that means. But okay, so he's got 8.5 those scored for Target. All right, well, wow. I'm not seeing. I'm certainly not seeing that.
How many times have I said Target's a good player?
Yeah,
but then you're going, he's picking up £100,000 a week for nothing.
He better be for £100,000. But
I wish we could swap Target's wages for Lewis Hall's wages, and then we'd be square.
Well,
exactly, and nobody would have an issue, and nobody would have an issue with that. Another guy that's on 150K a week and doesn't play much, and when he plays, doesn't truly convince anybody, is Lloyd Kelly. Lloyd Kelly today, shaky in defense, man. I'm not too. I think he wasn't. I think he wasn't an unnecessary buy, but people here.
7. And let's talk about Target going as well, by the way.
There is, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I was one of the few, I suppose, that looked at the way Kelly defends and stands, which was my style of defending. I didn't want to jump in and allow players to get around me. But you have to have an amalgamation of two. You have to have a decision to make. And when it gets to a point where you are too central, which is where Kelly is most of the time, unless you're close to the ball to get the block, then there's no point in standing up, because all you're doing is travelling back at the same yardage as the players coming forward. So there's no pressure on the ball. And like I said, when Wynn said about, it was Miley's fault that he we conceded the goal. Now, in actual fact, I think it was probably Miley's fault that he shot as early as he did because of Miley trying to get back into the half space that he'd allowed that second ball to go into, because Kelly didn't support him. If Kelly had have come forward and closed the half space, then the shot wouldn't have got off at all. So it's like I said, sometimes players can make you look a dick because of the way they do it. We saw it today where, players start the run, then stop. Lewis Hall was guilty of it with Tonali down the wing. Sometimes when you've got it in your mindset that this is what you're going to do, you have to continue your run or you have to continue your defensive positioning. And I think at this present moment in time, Kelly looks void of all confidence in the challenge. And I don't know what it is, but I haven't actually seen him in a long time, especially today, if you like, actually get involved in a physical challenge. It's as if all he wants to do. To me, he's like he's the perfect sweeper. You know what I mean? He's the one who's just going to sit behind, pick the ball up, and play that pass, and not really want to get involved in any of the dirty work that is in front of him. And that's how Kelly seems to be playing at the moment. And I don't know whether it is a confidence thing, but he certainly doesn't, as you've just said there, rightfully fill me with confidence if he is going to be our central defender going forward.
They're saying that we're not here to be popular. Where Mighty Wins living on that because Trippier got 1% of the vote, Target got 0% of the vote. So Lewis Miley getting man of the match by 85% right now at the moment. And Osula 7%. Osula, what a smacker.
Yeah.
And I had something crazy to say about Osula. Something crazy that I might be willing to gamble, try, be open-minded about the possibility of him playing a right wing.
Yep.
Knowing what he can bring you to the table, which he's going to do a lot of running, maybe not a lot of crossing, but certainly cutting inside and doing what he did today. Maybe the give and goes that him and Isak could create could be great. And a lot of times I've seen it on a lot of lineups. They could even interchange in the same game. So I see a lot of quality. He's not, football is moving on, evolving, unlike some people in this panel. And we, center forwards are not those trees that are sitting in the penalty box and push stuff in all the time. We got quality now. And so I would, Beer Viking says Osula needs a loan now. Come on, man. You're busting my bubble here, man. No.
If Osula goes on loan, who got the back Isak up when he gets injured?
No one.
No one.
Exactly.
Or even to play games like this, no one. But I don't know. I mean, I would probably gamble, knowing that we don't have a right wing.
By all accounts, Parkinson is coming on nicely. I thought he might have got on the bench today as well.
I would have liked to see that.
You talking about what I said, Benjamin?
I would love to see actually Osula on the right. Yeah, I would love to give that a try. And
just give it a try.
What better game, Chris, than to do it when you're over there on Wednesday?
That's right, Wednesday, man. Wednesday and Saturday, we gotta be at the Tune. Mighty Win.
I don't know about Bournemouth. But
I better be Bournemouth.
Try
Wolves.
against Wolves. Try it.
Yeah. Well, try and see what happens. I would certainly, but to be honest, we know that Eddie Howe doesn't do anything like that. I mean, he just, he just everything.
It was some goal.
That was one crazy dribble. He can dribble the ball. He's not, he can dribble, run, and he is intense, man. Intense. Until the last minute that he was on, he was just fighting for every ball. It was a strange substitution. I thought taking him off.
Yeah, I agree.
Who came on? Tonali. Yeah, well, it was strange because I didn't think Tonali, man. But somebody had a great point, actually. Let me go to it. If I'm not mistaken, Nathan said that, oh, there we go. Here it says, because I said Tonali probably shouldn't have been on. And he says, no, listen to me. It's nice for the fans to see Tonali. Although briefly, he's one of our stars, and today would have seen a much younger mix of fans, families, or whatever. Well, that is a reason, I guess you can say, if you find
I
one.
don't think that's why he got on, but I
Right.
agree.
I mean, if I go there, I don't see Tonali. I'm getting down there, man, in the locker room.
Well, I
I'm
thought
telling.
it would be somebody like Bruno starting the first half and Tonali playing the second half. I didn't. Excuse me. I didn't anticipate GS7 starting. We
No,
all knew
normally.
we kind of knew it would be Longstaff and Miley.
Yeah, but I think that's again going to the tactical know-how, isn't it? It's about trying to win that ball because I said to Chris at the start of the show, they have a tendency to hit the first or the front line really early on, and I think what he's trying to do is keep the taller player, the battler, on to try and disrupt that, and then create from the back line. But as the game was progressing, it seemed to be, more of J7 being a forward line player rather than a midfielder. So there was no point in actually having him involved. And I think what may have switched him is the fact that J7 got a yellow card, and we all know that J7 can, throw a challenge in when he doesn't need to, especially in games like that, which makes you a little bit detriment going forward and a little bit weaker. So for me, I think it was more of a tactical thing. I did expect Bruno to start because obviously he'd had a rest anyway, or at least have some involvement in the game. And again, you always know when a good player comes in because it disrupts nothing. And I think the only time we saw the game start to get a little bit strange, if you like, and a bit non-existent was when we took Asula off. We then didn't have a forward line at all, and everything was literally going out wide. We had no target man up front because Asula had come off and Gordon went through the middle. And then Gordon played more or less in a number 10 slot. So you lose that space in and beyond if people aren't willing to run in there. So it did make a little bit of a strange watch towards the end of the game. But again, the lads never looked like they got out of third gear, second or third gear. And if you can win at a canter, then that's a benefit for everybody.
Who's got Donald Duck in the background?
It's I think it's something to do with
Donald
Tiger because it's. Well, I can hear some quicking or something like that. It's quick.
No, it's not me.
Tiger. You're awful quiet, man. It's when we win, man. I'm trying to defend you, but when we win, you're just a little bit quiet, man.
I've got a question. So if we don't sign anyone, is everyone happy to go with this squad for the rest of the season? Do you think we'll?
If we have to sell somebody, I mean somebody that's relevant, I don't care to get nobody in. If we have to sell somebody, but if we got to sell, Longstaff, Armour, and that, you sell them if you want to. But
I just think we need a forward player, man, because because I don't think Isak's going to play. He's going to get injured in the next few weeks or something, and it's going to happen. He's going to miss a few.
And by the way, but you're not going to get a level of Isak to come in and be Isak's.
No, but then this is why I think we should go all in for the right winger.
Oh, right? I mean, I agree with that. But I'll be honest with you, man. We're already almost halfway through the month, and zero noise from for the transfer. It almost feels like it's not even a transfer window. So, and we know winter is slow, but we Newcastle fans expect a signing. And I said in the beginning, it's gonna be tough. Mighty Win said, "Why? We can get all them signings. It doesn't matter." All right. Well, we got 18 days left to get any signings. Right now, everybody's quiet.
We're getting no one.
I don't think we're getting anybody either.
Yeah.
And I don't think we are. And is that a bad thing? Well, we're certainly not evolving. We're not becoming better. But that is the
But I think this is the situation that we're in now. And again, I'm going to say James Bunce, and I'm not sure it's got anything to do with him, but we are playing different football now. We are managing the ball better. We're not running everybody into the ground. Yes, we've still got a couple of injuries, but it's nowhere near what we had previously. Now, and that's the reasons why I mentioned James Bunce. We seem to be managing the games in a way where we use the ball rather than the speed of the player to win the game. And Wynn takes the piss of me when I said the ball's round and your feet are flat. If you utilise the ball, and this is what elite teams do, you look at all the top flight teams, they don't utilise a lot of the players to continue to run for 90 minutes. They utilise the ball that doesn't get out of breath or doesn't get injured. But what you have to have then is the intelligent players to get into the spaces to get the ball to. Now, like I said before, the biggest problem with January transfer window, it becomes the desperate that go out there and spend money in the January transfer window. And the desperate, and it means the likes of Man City. Man City are in a desperate situation because of the team and the position that they see themselves in. And they have the money to go out there and spend and gamble on two players that are very good, but are they going to be able to cut it in the Premier League? It's still a massive gamble because they're unknown within the Premier League. And I think, for us to go and throw our hat into that ring, one, you're going to have to spend a hell of a lot of money. There's 72 teams still in European competition. They're not going to let their players go if they are heavily involved in Europe, unless you're willing to spend the money. So for me, it's a case of, are we desperate? Are we too desperate enough to hold back until the summer where we can actually look at the squad, try and get a couple of players out the door that allows us then in the summer to go and spend the money in the right way, rather than just throwing a name in the hat and saying he's going to go and do a job for us. Somebody that we've spent a hell of a lot of money on. We're complaining now about players that we've bought in, some free, some we've paid for, and that aren't cutting the mustard now. So imagine having to spend 50 and 60 million pounds on the same type of player that's not doing the job for you.
Can I ask you a question, Gary? Though,
yeah,
just a question on your opinion. If we had to spend 40 to 50, let's say, million on one player, and that player would be right wing, do you not think that it would be an upgrade on Almiron and Murphy? And do you not think that we should do that, being that we are in fifth and we are trying to get European football, specifically Champions League?
Yep. Okay. So the way we've seen last year, and we saw the 11th hour fracas, where we had two players, one that would have covered this right wing position, and one central midfielder that doesn't leave us short. But when you look at, people were saying about Anderson, and I still rate Anderson. I like Anderson's doggedry in the middle of the park. He's like our J7 that we haven't got another of. And when I look at my list, Longstaff and Anderson were miles apart in my eyes when it comes to that doggedry in the middle of the park. So I look at a season in two areas. I look at the January, which is where you look at filling the void if you're in a desperate situation. Then I also look at June the 30th, where 2 seconds, where I say, if we have to sell, why are we looking at selling some of our bright youngsters going through or going forward in this chapter? So for me, if I have to spend 40 million now and gamble on a player that may not do us anything further going forward, but I then have to think about selling the likes of Miley in June, I'd stick where I am, mate. Because I still think we are struggling with finances. As much as we've got all this money to spend, I still think there's a lot of money that we haven't got to spend.
Yeah, interesting there. Interesting. By the way, the other match is going to penalties. So don't know if we're going to be as long as until the draw, but we'll try. Worst commentary nightmare. By the way, the Arsenal's kit is like they've been bleached in the whole kit, just washed in bleach because everything is white. I mean, everything. There's not any
It's
other
to do
color.
with the no racism, Chris.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. What about
They
Man
wear
U?
it like once a season.
Oh, that's only the club. Only Arsenal do that.
So
Yeah,
why
only
make it
Arsenal
all
do it.
white?
Why make it all white, man? Should have.
I don't know. We could
Well, I mean,
ask them.
but then dang it, we're gonna get into. No, let's not get into that. If you make it,
Exactly.
if you make it another color, then the other colors gonna say, why not make it blue? There's blue people out there. Why not make it all yellow or all purple? Nah, fuck me. Anyways, well, good, but still a commentary nightmare though. because you can't read no numbers.
Hernandez up first to take the first.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. Any other thoughts on the match? I don't think there's any criticism.
Can we give praise? Can we give praise to Lewis Miley's through ball to Asula? I mean, that was a Tenali ball. That ball was a beautiful ball.
Come on, man. There we go.
This guy is legit.
He certainly is.
Yeah,
But
I think everybody at the club knows he's legit.
I'm glad that some of them woke up from the nap they were on and smelled the coffee. So, how long is the cup draw? By the way, how long does that last? Anybody know?
10 minutes.
It depends on when they decide to do it. Because if you remember when we were watching the EFL, you know, it looked like it was 25 minutes post when they supposed to have done it, wasn't it? After the game, so we were all sat around waiting for it.
They're running out of time now because this is on BBC, so
yeah.
You know they'll be scheduled to be getting it done straight away. I would imagine.
1-0 Man United in Pence.
1-1.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Well, it's not a Man U Arsenal commentary, so we're not going to debate on them.
Yeah. I thought overall today, as Gary said, we barely got out of second gear.
Well, no, I don't know about that. Well, I don't know about that. I mean,
you know,
are you trying to say that the subs
they got that goal, sent the fans away happy, but it was comfortable. It was comfortable.
You thought it was comfortable in the first half?
Yeah.
I thought everything but uncomfortable, man. You were asleep, so I wouldn't trust you.
No,
I mean, are you kidding me, man? They scored a goal. Nobody expected that. Dubravka looked sick. Everybody thought everybody wanted to throw up. It looked like, and then after that, they get another play similar to it.
Which again was down to a Miley missed pass.
No, it wasn't. Lloyd Kelly missed the pass. What are you talking about? You were asleep, man. Go on somewhere, man. Rogue. Let's go to the comments here. Rogue.
And then he made up for it all with his fabulous goal.
Yeah. Rogue. Miggy covered back for Trippier a handful of times in the second half. Barnes was definitely worst player on the pitch, Bromley included. Well, Barnes wasn't on this game today, unfortunately. And I said it was a game for him, man, but he didn't come through. Jordy Dan, I'd swap Longstaff for a Bromley player, no lie.
Yeah, I think today that was, if you like, the final nail in Sean's coffin.
Until next game, and he does.
I think it's the final nail for Barnes as well.
Nah, stop playing.
No, Barnes has got enough.
Yeah, I think he needs.
He had a bad game, man. Wake up.
Yeah. No, but it's been a few weeks though, Chris.
Havertz has missed his penalty.
Okay, but you want to go to the United Stand with that, or AFTV, man.
It's been like a month or something with Barnes. I just think with all these rumors come out like, oh, he's on the transfer list, or the club want him gone. I think his head's like he doesn't want to be here. I don't think.
Listen. We need the likes of Barnes on the bench
to lengthen the squad. I do agree with that.
Yeah, going for the rest of the season.
What he proved today, yet again, was that he's not necessarily a good starter, but we know from experience that he's very good coming off the bench.
I think he's away in the summer.
Paul,
if we can get 45 mil for him, sell him.
Yeah.
Mister.
I think we can do better.
Oh, if you get 50 million for him, I might go. I might.
No, you wouldn't get 50 for him. You might get 30.
You gotta sell him because
probably get more money back on him.
He's too good to be on the bench though. Like he needs to be starting for. He could be starting like.
So what's your point? You're contradicting yourself there.
No. I'm saying he's for a different team. Like he's too good to be on the bench. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can't have like a 35 million pound player sitting on the bench with his quality.
No, that's exactly what we've got to have.
Yeah, I think he'll be a good squad player, man. But I mean, and when he's come on, he's been doing a job. He's scoring at times. So it's a I don't know. It depends on how you look at things. Queen of Heart, the bottle of bubbly. I had to celebrate Kieran. Oh yeah, Kieran. That's his birthday. Kieran, Queen of Heart's lad. So happy birthday to all celebrating.
Kieran.
Yeah, happy birthday, mate. Paul Ann says, awesome performances from Miley Osula. Awesome goal, by the way. Plus, Sanusi shows promise. He also said Almiron and Longstaff really were poor today. And he also tells you, win, sorry, win, but I was not comfortable in the first half. There you go. And
I was perfectly comfortable.
yeah, of course you were. I mean, you were snuggly, man. The thing here is, everybody thought we were going to be. We had all the ball in the world. We had the possession, but we couldn't penetrate Bromley. How many saves? How many big chances did we create, apart from the goals in the second half when Gordon and Bruno came in?
That's what I said. I mean,
in the halftime we had one, and Bromley had one.
Yeah, I think it was there for everybody to see, exactly the same as it was when we played Wimbledon, when Bromley played the low block, and once they'd got the goal, that was it. They hadn't got to chase the game anymore. It was up to us to go and create something, and that's where the frustration was for me with Asula, because he did stick between the goal line, the goal sticks, if you like, and he wouldn't move from the penalty spot. And there's I can hear it now burning into the back of my head. There's lots of coaches that will say that's where your striker needs to be, and I totally agree. But if you're static, it's easy to be marked. And I think the biggest problem for me is Asula was too easy to be marked. I had the same criticism with Isak at the start of the season. If you're stationary and you run backwards and forwards in the same lane, you're easily marked because you haven't got to follow you anymore, because when you turn around, you're just going to come running at me anyway. What Asula did in the second half, and when he got his goal, he actually come away from the box. He went out on the width and run wide. And then you've got to make a decision from the defenders to say, do I follow you, or do you just stick to my defending lanes? And in the end, what he did, and he did absolutely superb, once he dropped his left shoulder and wrapped his foot round it, the power took it past the keeper without a shadow of a doubt. Now, would he have got that opportunity in the first half? No, he wouldn't, because he hadn't got any way of running into the channels, apart from obviously the second half. Again, the Miley pass through to him where he's running on at goal. He's a totally different player when he's free-flowing and running with the ball at his feet rather than being cramped up in the middle of the box. Still a lot to learn with Asula, but I think he's getting there, and I think he can be a really good striker.
Indeed.
I just hope he gets more minutes now.
Xerxes scores, Man United win the shootout.
Because, like you said, Gary, there is a player there in Asula. You can see it, but he just needs a run of games now, coming off the bench, half an hour, 20 minutes, and then you never know. Like Chris said, he could be the right winger. So, but I don't think he'll be a right winger. I think he's a backup striker. But yeah, I was happy with Asula. His goal was good. Amazing.
All right. So what else do we got, ladies and gents? We're running on fumes here. Mighty Win wants to
I'm
stay
struggling a little bit, boys, if I'm honest.
Chris, when do you fly out?
One last thing.
Last thoughts.
I told Josh on Friday night, I hope that you and Josh are not the kiss of death that shows up at that stadium we lose to fucking Wolves.
No, man, no. I was thinking about that today too, man. I was like, what if we go and lose, man? That would be fucking crazy. But no.
That's on you.
No, not at all, man. We're good.
Yeah, it is. It's on Mr. Negative.
No, ain't no Mr. Realistic and Objective. That's who I am. Although a fan at last. But you cannot cover the sun with one finger. You cannot let the tree cover the forest, man. It is what it is. And I had a new phrase too, man, but I forgot it. I'll bring it on next time. Anyways, it's been a great show.
You're as thick as a whale sandwich.
That's you. They told you that. They told you that. It looks like Man U is advancing, so there we go. Yeah. Arsenal, another letdown.
Against 10 men as well.
Against 10 men.
Well, Chris, have a safe flight, yeah? And
cheers,
make sure you have a curry when you come
safe
to
trip,
Newcastle.
Chris.
We're definitely going to have the curry, man. Thank you, Mighty Wayne. Thank you, Tiger. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, Gary. And
we're not staying for the draw league.
No, man, we gotta go. We've been up live for 5 hours, man. We've been working for 6 hours, man.
Fucking lightweights.
You've been twatting about for a bit sleeping and stuff. No. Anyways.
I'll chat with you, Win. I'll chat with you.
I need some lube.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll do the live draw.
We'll see you on the next one, folks. Bye bye.
See you guys.